Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to this online event with Scandinavian Photo and Blackmagic Design. Good to see so many of you here. I think we're about 30 people already. So my name is Suzanne and I'm B2B account manager at Scandinavian Photo. In a minute, you will get to meet Gabriel from Blackmagic Design, who will tell you all about their Pocket Cinema camera lineup and the most recent launch, 6K Pro. But firstly, Scandinavian Photo have a special offer for all of you who are attending this webinar, which I will show you there. So if you buy a Pocket Cinema 6K Pro with a 1 terabyte external SSD from Samsung, you will get 1,000 crown discount. But it's okay, you don't need to remember this because you will get an email with all the details. Let's see, this one. Also on our website, you can find ready-made streaming kits such as this one. Of course, we also offer customized solutions and professional studios. So please contact us if you need any help, and we will find the best equipment for your needs. Also, if you have any questions for Blackmagic, please write them down in the Q&A chat, and we will answer them at the end of this presentation at the Q&A. But for now, welcome Gabriel from Blackmagic.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being with us today. I'd like to thank Scandinavian Photo for hosting this session. And without further ado, I'm going to share my screen now, and let's jump into this presentation. Right. Well, for those who don't know me, my name is Gabriel Catelli. I've been with Blackmagic Design for about a year now, and previously I used to work for the football team Manchester United. I started there in the audio department, moved to camera operator, then broadcast engineer. And my last job there was a transmission engineer. So live production cameras is something I'm very familiar with. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be talking about the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro. And this camera expands on the foundations of the incredibly successful Pocket Cinema camera family. Taking many of the existing technical features and boasting some new additions that are more commonly found on our larger cameras, such as ND filters. And this will provide you with a wealth of versatile options. So, what we're going to be learning today, we're going to be looking at the Pocket Cinema camera family, a quick look at the existing family, features, applications, and noticeable differences, and how they influence the design for the 6K Pro. We're going to discuss some of the innovative new features and ergonomic additions to the 6K Pro. We're going to look at the core shared technologies, our ethos when designing all of the cameras, and that unites the whole Blackmagic camera family. And finally, we're going to be focusing on different usage scenarios and target markets that the Pocket family works within, followed by a Q&A. So let's jump right into it. Let's begin by looking at our range of existing 4K and 6K Pocket Cinema cameras, developed on the foundation of our hugely popular and successful original Pocket Cinema Camera HD. The main technological push behind the Pocket 4K camera came for the need for Pocket camera family to shoot in 4K resolution. Both cameras were based around the same accessible design, having the advantage of a small and lightweight 750 grams polycarbonate bodies, but yet producing crisp Blackmagic cinema quality images in a market that has a need for this camera style. So the entire Pocket family offers a similar core technology with a easy to use menu system. They have 13 stops of dynamic range with a dual native ISO, internal Blackmagic RAW, recording, and unique sensor technology. This is ideal for creatives needing a range of options whilst retaining critical features you have come to expect. The Pocket 4K has the benefits of compact, lightweight lenses, keeping the overall package small due to its native 4K 4/3 sensors and micro 4/3 lens mount. And the 6K has a Super 35 sensor that allows for better depth of field control and more prominent bokeh and the ability to scale and or reframe from the 6K resolution. With the new sensor comes with the native EF mount, enabling you a wide range of superb EF lenses, accessible and helping to support our Blackmagic customers who already have EF glasses. Here you can see how the sensor size has a dedicated type of mount lens and ultimately your choice of lenses. And with this being the key difference between the Pocket 4K and the 6K. The 4K is built around a smaller tried and tested for 4/3 format with a micro 4/3 lens mount and a full resolution of 4096 for 2160. The Pocket 6K, on the other hand, changes this for a larger Super 35 sensor, native 6K sensor size with a built-in EF standard mount with the max resolution of 6144 by 3456. Creatively and aesthetically, the combination of EF lenses and Super 35 format affects the image in terms of a more prominent and deeper depth of field, and amplified bokeh due to this larger sensor. So this can be considered more cinematic and desirable for some customers. And the Super 35 sensors of the EF lenses of the 6K unleashes endless possibilities for cinematic coverage and image due to a vast array of lenses available. However, the choice between the cameras comes down to your preference, your lenses, your production, and your aim. The Pocket 4K has a fantastic user base of creatives using micro 4/3 mounts for lighter weight lenses and keeping the overall package very small. And some productions such as run and gun documentaries will prefer a deeper depth of field with smaller 4/3 sensor and making it easy to keep subjects in focus and reducing the issues of blurred subjects. Now, let's have a look at the 6K Pro, which in addition to the Pocket 4K and 6K, which are already still available, we now have the new Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, which has added some heavily requested ergonomic additions to improve both functionality and operability. So this is just an example how Blackmagic listens to customer feedback. New 6K Pro maintains the key features of the popular and successful Pocket 6K. Despite it being a new camera, we have retained some of the core technology and only updating and improving what was already an incredible camera. You can still expect the same Super 35 sensor with dual native ISO, 13 stops of dynamic range, high frame rates, native 6K recording, internal Blackmagic RAW, and the Blackmagic OS, which is so easy to use. What we have done is we increase the versatility, operability, and the overall easy of use camera through additional features, both helping the creator and allowing the product to stand apart, still fitting in the rest of the Pocket Cinema camera lineup. One of the most important things we have to talk about here, we design our new internal motorized ND, do a large number of customer requests who wanted to avoid rigging their pocket cinema cameras with a large mate box and external filters, which can hinder the operator in certain shooting scenarios. So the NDs operate via a new slide system with controls position on the top rear of the camera with ND plus and minus buttons ranging from clear, ND2, ND4, and ND6 stops. And creatively, ND features infrared glass and specifically color balanced to match our sensor, allowing the creator to use NDs without any worry of aesthetic changes to their production. And you have the options to alter your depth of field whilst maintaining an acceptable amount of light without the hassle of adding additional accessories. Another great feature that we added, short but sweet note to mention here, is addition of extra high quality, reliable mini XLR ports. Where the 4K and the 6K have one XLR, now we have the option of two on the side of the camera with rubber caps over all the I/O ports for additional protection, which can also be detached whenever you require. All mini XLRs are professional connection, but perfectly fits the size of the camera, maintaining the same Pro preamps from previous models. This analog XLR switchable between mic with phantom power support or line level up to plus 14 dBu. And we combine this with one 3.5 millimeters stereo input that can be used for timecode or integrated stereo microphone and built-in mono speaker. There's a range of possibilities to capture audio and making this iteration of the pocket cinema camera ideal for documentary or fast-paced dialogue scenes. Let's look at the back of the camera. Now we have also the new 5-inch ultra bright HDR touchscreen monitor with intuitive user interface, easy to touch sensitivity, and increased brightness of 1500 nits. The 6K and the 4K, they have 700 nits screen. And so now you can see this is a very a large increase in brightness. And this is the ideal for companion for outdoor use on a bright sunlight or even in tricky lighting situations. So you can control the frame rates, the shutter angle, the ISO and white balance from your home screen, making very efficient to whilst on set, with the added bonus of true HDR color fidelity and reproduction. Now, still looking at the back of the camera, we have the new LCD display, which is also now connected to an articulating 135-degree tilt function with 90 degrees upwards and 45-degree downwards. And this feature, you can see the capabilities for allowing the 6K Pro to be operated in more difficult positions, providing the shooter with a range of new camera angles and possibilities. Again, this just reinforces our aim of boosting functionality and operability of the end user. Another super cool addition to that, we now move into the new optional Pocket Camera Pro EVF. This is operable design was founded on a combination of a customer feedback and also through a well-received 1080p OLED USA EVF from our biggest camera range. And customers love the ability to focus more intensely through an EVF, removing any additional light that might affect the image on the screen, while simultaneously allowing more focus on the scene at the hand. Now you can see how adaptable this EVF is for close-handed work and when you're shooting run and gun style. You can see the detachable EVF mounts directly on the top of the body. It boasts of 1280 per 960 resolution, and you have a plus and minus 4 diopter range, and uses a proprietary connector on top of the camera, which can be tightened or released with a thumb screw. So no need for additional tools there, and that makes very easy to attach or release the EVF. Other exciting features include a digital focus guide with user interface information, and we have a built-in eye cup proximity detector, similar to the Ursa EVF, that switches off the display when not using to save power consumption. All the power and the data of the new EVF is via a proprietary high-density pin connector. Another addition, if you buy the EVF as well, there are also different size silicone eye cups that are provided, including left and right eye options to allow functionality and adaptability to any shooter. Now, moving on to the Pocket Camera Battery Pro Grip. This is different from the previous models as well. With the new addition of the Pocket Camera Battery Pro Grip, you have now 2 larger cell capacity, allowing approximately 1 hour of recording per battery, depending on your camera settings, which is a massive improvement from the 4K and the 6K. The new Pro Battery Grip, we use 2 NPF 570 batteries, and this are different from the original. And there's no need to remove the internal battery. Instead, you can connect this via the pins on the bottom of the camera. And as the internal battery now can be left in, you can use the camera with 3 fully charged batteries available all at once. So this is perfect for customers wishing to shoot for longer periods of time. And if you're out in the field and you have limited power supply, is an ideal addition. Here you can see how the grips and screws in seamlessly into the bottom of the camera. And it also features non-slip hand grips, and are designed to perfectly match the polycarbonate body of the camera, with the ability of charge batteries in the grip via a 12-volt DC power connection if you want to do so. Now let's talk about digital film technology. All of our cameras are based in the same design and shared technology, aiming for operability and simplicity, regardless of what your camera you're shooting with. And what makes this the best camera range is best described by what lives inside your cameras. We saw the position in the market for an accessible small form factor camera that produces amazing images. And we've shown you the product. So now let's dig into the core of this product. First of all, we have the Blackmagic OS. Speed and efficiency is integral to operating our products. And the Blackmagic OS is simple and intuitive to use, with the ability of updating firmware in the field and provide more functionality. Our bright full HD touchscreens are easy to frame, to focus, and to shoot accurately. There's no need for menus and rotary dials, purely fast and logical access to show only what's needed in the screen, whether you want to change your resolution, your frame rate, your ISO, or view your library of LUTs and presets. The main menu allows you to set up the camera however you want to, access metadata, media, battery levels, and you can simply tap to add or remove settings based on other choices made, such as frame rates relating to the recording format. And finally, it's worth mentioning that you can also control the camera remotely via Bluetooth or either an iPad, an iPhone, through the Blackmagic Design app. So another great feature here is recording via USB-C. Not only does every Blackmagic Design camera offers a non-proprietary CFast and SD media, but they also offer USB-C recording. The USB-C port enables you to record directly to an external USB-C drives or flash drives, utilizing a more cost-effective media solution with a greater size of capacity and then smaller media cards. So this is vital when shooting for corporate documentary footage, for example, which can require long periods of shooting. An added benefit of the USB-C recording is also speeds up post-production process, as you can record and edit or even grade from the same drives you were recording onto by simply unplugging the port and moving on to a workstation to begin your edit. The power is also supported via USB-C, enabling you to charge batteries in the camera, for example. And just to ensure the camera is turned off before doing this, as you cannot run the camera and charge batteries simultaneously. So if you're going to use the charging mode via USB-C, you need to turn your camera off. Dual native ISO is a key example of our technical development is our dual ISO sensors, only available in our Pocket family. And this was developed as customers in this market space were looking to shoot in lower available light and at higher resolutions. So we built our own proprietary sensors in the beginning of 2015 within the ISO 4.6K. And what we learned, we have been improving upon ever since. So we combat the low light through the dual native ISO up to 25,600 for HDR images, an incredible low light performance, and with a native low gain and high gain 400 and 3200 ISO respectively. As a result, you have a flexibility and adaptability of choosing your desired ISO, retaining the integral dynamic range and sensitivity and latitude. Now, another great thing about these cameras I need to mention here is Blackmagic RAW. Our internal proprietary format, Blackmagic RAW, integrates with our technology between camera and post-production, optimizing color fidelity throughout the chain. It is first and foremost designed for preserving and the protection of dynamic range and color precision with the image information, without discarding color and the image detail, which it results in a substandard clip. So B-RAW processes only the sensor data and relies on post-production to debug and create the video information. And secondly, efficiency in recording is key. Comparing to other RAW formats, which are often a bucket of pixels that demand a lot of processing. We work hand in hand with our sensor technology, leveraging the processing power in the camera to help to reduce file sizes and deliver the same bit depth, dynamic range, and control as RAW with the information encoded and saved in metadata. So finally, we have the ability to complete the chain by finishing and working with DaVinci Resolve in post-production, the world's most used and well-renowned grading software, unified by Generation 5 color science. Talking about Generation 5 color science, our new Pocket 6K Pro was built around Generation 5. Which will be also included in the 4K and the 6K do a firmware update. And it was developed with DaVinci Resolve technology, IP processing within the camera. Our color silence underpins our sensors performance, reproducing extremely accurate skin tones image clarity, and a beautiful lifelike colors, truly helping to create richness. Through our ever-evolving development, we have fine-tuned our color science to allow creators to match both archive and current footage to perfection. Building upon the popular Gen 4, the Gen 5 is a fantastic addition as it can be easily manipulated on DaVinci Resolve to produce vivid colors and accurate representations of what the camera is capturing. We feel you cannot compromise any of the unifying technology of our cameras, the easy-to-use operability of the Blackmagic OS, the available light possibilities from our dual ISO sensors, and efficiency and image preservation of our Blackmagic RAW, and the color fidelity and reproduction for our Gen 5 color sciences. So these are 4 areas that encapsulate what you need in a camera to create cinematic images, something that is shared throughout our core technology. So let's have a look at different scenarios here and see what cameras is the best for you. Now that we have the 6K Pro, now is maybe the time to ask this question. In-shot response is a primarily depends on what technology you're looking for and the unique projects or scenarios you're going to be faced with. So for a more in-depth answer, let's look at the primary differences that separate these cameras between them. Excuse me. This diagram now is showing 6 areas that you would consider as a camera operator when choosing your desired camera. This isn't exhaustive, but typically you will look at your frame rate, your dynamic range, ND filters, resolution, sensor size, and rolling shutter. So first and foremost, the Pocket 4K. Its strength really lies in its faster rolling shutter, approximately 16 milliseconds, resulting in a more sensitive sensor and better handling of available light situations. This combined with our dual ISO helps easily to combat this issue whilst retaining latitude. We also have the smaller 4/3 sensor, and the smaller size and resolution are often better suited for documentaries and ANG shooters, and as they prefer a deeper depth of field, also a wide range of lightweight and small micro 4/3 lenses that this sensor brings. So again, this micro 4/3 lenses are as well are very affordable comparing to other mounts. And finally, we have the Pocket 4K frame rates up to 60 in native 4K, 120 in HD, to create cinematic slow motion effects within a compact form factor camera. So the Pocket 4K user cases, as I mentioned previously, we have seen our Pocket Cinema 4K used in a wide range of applications where they tend to see the 4K as predominantly includes event videography, where the demands nowadays is for a more cinematic approach. Online content creators also use it for YouTube, due to its ability of working with the ATEM streaming products, or independent film productions, for those who prefer compactness and versatility of the camera compared to a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. And finally, we work very closely with film schools and universities, acting as an educational camera for students. And the ease of use and accessibility of the camera really makes it an obvious choice for creatives just starting on this industry. Looking at the Pocket 6K, you can already see there's a change on the diagram highlights, and the key changes lie in the obvious benefits of the higher native 6K resolution. The benefits include ability to downsample to produce cleaner, sharper images, and in a 2 or 4K deliverable, reframing, rescaling, stabilization in post-production, creating multiple shots on one frame, and ultimately to ensure your work is future-proof as well. The pair or the 6K with a larger 35 super 35 millimeters sensor. You get incredible resolution and compact form factor with access to a wide variety of cinematic EF lenses to the native EF mount. This is, as we have previously mentioned, allows for shallower depth of field and more notable bokeh. And there's also a slight change on frame rates. 60 frames is now available on 6K resolution. So a few user cases here. The Pocket 6K has been used fundamentally by creative desiring cinematic aesthetics. Users includes music video creators who often move into larger cinematic TV dramas and future film productions. Large-scale advertising and commercial productions, including fashion or corporate events, utilize these cameras, and often using many in unison for perfect image matching and post-production. We have also seen a high amount of independent films using the 6K due to its increased resolution and the Super 35 sensor. Now, looking at the 6K Pro, nothing has changed from the 6K sensor. Our core technological capabilities of the camera are the same. The difference is the inclusion of the internal motorized ND and the other ergonomical features. The other additions, if you take the other additions that it brings aside, the ND helped the 6K Pro to sit nicely between the 6K and the G2. As we have already shown, it acts as an alternate solution to the Pocket 6K by hosting some of the ergonomical functions, and that can complement a larger camera. The benefits of internal motorized NDs was to allow the creator to shoot in a wide aperture without overexposing, with the benefits of a shallow depth of field and selective focus effects under the constrained lighting conditions without the need of any external rigging equipment. The other additional 6K Pro upgrades is such as the new HDR screen, the battery grip, and the EVF are based on functionality and operability. And the internal NDs are perfect complement to the 6K sensor, allowing all working together to create the best camera possible for the user. So quick look at customer cases here. Although the Pocket 6K Pro is not yet out and in hands of people like you, we really do think that with the new features, we see this camera sitting in a wide variety of markets. The Pocket family has been used as a handheld device or with gimbals, including run and gun, documentary filmmakers, location scouts, or pickups on larger films. And specialist productions such as VFX works, crash cams, stunts, and non-intrusive situations. Also ideal due to the small form factor and the high image quality. Matching our color science with the larger cameras creates seamless transitions when working with high-end Hollywood features or complementing bigger productions. So just to have a look at here, the quick comparison of all the three cameras. showing where the main strength of the 4K with a smaller 4/3 sensor and MFT mount, increased rolling shutter speeds, the 6K benefits of introduction of the new 6K resolution and Super 35 sensor size. And finally, the 6K Pro offers ND filters whilst retaining all of the 6K core technology. So now let's have a quick look in this final section. I want to highlight a few customer stories that have been chosen by Blackmagic Design for their creative work with complete end-to-end workflows from sensor to codec and through post-production. First, I'm want to show is Kako Films. We will start by looking at this cinematographer Martin McVinsky and his wedding production company, Kako Films. Martin is an award-winning wedding photographer based in Czech Republic, creating high-end cinematic wedding films all over the world. Primarily, he was using the Pocket 4K in his entire workflow, extensively and exclusively. Martin films in documentary style to interrupt as little as possible and capture emotional moments such as a special occasion that can never be recreated. With a small compact size of the Pocket 4K and Micro Four Third lenses, this is the ideal situation when you don't want to be intrusive. He emphasizes his need for superb color grading and high image quality with a filmic look throughout his pipeline. And he combines this need with a requirement for lots of storage to film an entire wedding, and he chooses to filming in Blackmagic RAW for reduced file sizes whilst maintaining the color fidelity and the dynamic range. So his entire projects are edited and graded using DaVinci Resolve for complete end-to-end Blackmagic Design workflow. Our next customer case is Matteo Bertoli. And another exciting customer story centers around a social media campaign for the Mercedes-AMG A-Class, which was shot by DP Matteo Bertoli with a Pocket Cinema 6K on Blackmagic RAW. The entire project, shoot on location in Frankfurt, Germany, involved tracking and lighting a moving car throughout the streets and traffic. Matteo used a native 6K resolution and dual ISO against the minimal existing street lights to help to create a drama of the nighttime driving shots, combined with a fluid contemporary dance in some studio scenes. Matteo has used the Pocket cinema camera for a long time, shooting B-roll 5:1 and 3:1 compression rates in 6K to 48 and 24 frames per second, benefiting of the power of RAW in such as more and efficient file sizes. This was edited and graded completely in DaVinci Resolve Studio, providing end-to-end workflow consistency throughout the pipeline. Another example here is in the UK-based commercial agency, Still Moving Media, recently completed a project promoting the launch of the new Aston Martin Concorde edition with British Airways, celebrating the 50 years anniversary of this iconic Concorde Plus flight. Still Moving Media used Pocket Cinema Camera 4K to deliver a client's vision of tracking and chasing the Aston Martin on a closed airfield. And he was chosen for his compact design and lightness and when rigging cameras directly to a vehicle, whilst providing internal RAW recording with the ability to use EF lenses to a lens adapter to get superior image quality. Still Moving Media is able to record to CFast in RAW via SDI directly to our DaVinci Resolve Video Assist, held by the first AD in the car. And the performance and color science of the camera provided incredible creative options for post-production, with the projects being fully edited and graded on DaVinci Resolve. The last customer case for today, a high-profile customer case that involves the DOP John Brawley using a combination of Ulsa Mini Pro 4.6 G2 cameras and the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. The Great was a 2020 satirical customer drama streaming on Hulu, starting Ellie Fanning and Nicholas Hoult. And whilst John was shooting the majority of A cameras with the Arri Alexa SXT, he often used the G2 and the Pocket 4K at the same time shooting on Blackmagic RAW. As John mentioned, Blackmagic's range of cameras gave me the most flexibility in choice of when approaching a shoot. I can use any camera and I know this will get great shots. An example will be when the hero close-up Ellie Fanning was shooting using the Pocket Cinema camera in handheld mode. And this is a shot they couldn't achieve with a bigger camera. And the images from the Arri and the Blackmagic cameras were seamlessly matched in post-production, as he felt the looks, the colors, and the dynamic range felt quite similar using LUTs made in pre-production using DaVinci Resolve. So that takes us to the end of this presentation. In summary, we have explored the key innovative development of our new Pocket Cinema camera, 6K Pro, and where it sits in the Pocket family. We've seen how the ergonomic additions enhance the post-production and allowing you for more creative and operability when filming. We also took a look where the 6K Pro fitting in the marketing, and I've given you some Pocket family user cases. And that takes us to our Q&A that's going to be open now. And if you don't, if I can't answer your question now, I would like you to ask you to email presales-ema@blackmagicdesign.com, and I will be replying to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy this.
Thank you very much, Gabriel, for one more excellent presentation. We have a few questions from customers. And the first one is, are there any plans for in-body autofocus or in-body stabilizer in future firmware?
No, at this point, we would not talk about this because in-body stabilization is done by hardware as well. Like, it's not only a software thing. So I don't think a firmware update will be able to create in-body stabilization.
All right. Then we have another question. If there's been rumors that there is a blue light in the ND filters, and the question is if that problem has been solved.
Right. I would say at this point that if you have any problems with any of our products, what you need to do is if the product is not working the way you expect to, you can contact support at Blackmagic Design, because they are very responsive and you will get your problem sorted as soon as possible.
Thank you. And let's see, what are the autofocus options? I think it's regarding the 6K Pro, but it doesn't specify.
Autofocus options. All right. I see what you mean. So basically, we have only one autofocus with these cameras, because you need to think about that. The Pocket Cinema cameras, they are designed for cinema. So we will have an autofocus option that will normally look for the sharpest point in the image, not like other manufacturers that will have cameras that are more designed for other users. This is a cinema camera. You need to think about that. So you normally be focusing manually or digitally, but autofocus is only one option, is a press to focus, and it will look for the sharper point of the image, and then you'll focus on that.
Right. Is there a chance another 6K Pro 2 will come out soon? And if not, would you know when?
I don't have any updates for you, unfortunately, at this point. But you never know. I think the Pocket Cinema camera it just grew now, so you never know.
And using it in live streams, what is your suggestions in connecting it to an ATEM? And do you have any wireless tips?
Wireless tips. Well, if you want to keep camera control, you need to connect via a cable, unfortunately. But if you want to use this with larger ATEMs, such as the SDI-based ATEMs, all you need to do is to purchase our bidirectional converter, micro converter, and that will give you the capability of using this camera with the larger ATEMs, and vice versa as well. If you're using an ATEM Mini and you have any of the Ursa cameras, you have to use the bidirectional converter the other way around, and that will connect to HDMI switches as well.
Okay, we have another question is, are there any updates about third parties? I would presume there's supposed to be lenses after that. And the second question is, do you know when a cage will come for the 6K Pro?
Well, we don't build cages, but I'm pretty sure everyone is so excited about this product that pretty soon you're going to see a lot of rigging equipment popping up in the market. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Is there a date for when the firmware update for Color Gen 5 is coming out for the 4K and the 6K?
I don't have a specific date for that, but it should be out very soon. Very soon, everyone is going to be able to have in-camera Gen 5 if you have a Pocket 6K or a Pocket 4K.
And we got another question regarding the blue tint in the ND filter. So I guess we have an answer to that already, but you can maybe repeat that.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any problems with any of our products, all you need to do is write an email to support-ema@blackmagicdesign.com, and I'm pretty sure the support guys will give you any help you might need. They're very responsive.
Perfect. And I don't think we have any more questions at this moment. So I guess we will thank you very much, Gabriel, for today, both this presentation and the previous ones about the ATEM Extreme mixers. And well, I hope to see you all soon again. And just before I let you off the hook, I want to show you this one once again. So we have a special offer with a discount if you get the Pocket Cinema Camera 6 Pro with a 1 terabyte external hard drive from Samsung. And we will send you an email with a discount code. Also, we have several different kits on our website. And of course, you can contact us for custom-made solutions. And this is our contact information, so you know how to get hold of us. So thank you for today, and please don't hesitate to let us know what we can do for you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.